Greetings, everyone. I am Dr. David Fakunle, and I am so happy to have the opportunity to work with you all at SBH. A brief background about myself. I was born and raised in Baltimore, Maryland. I still live in Baltimore, Maryland. As you can probably tell by the Maryland state flag, I'm proud of where I come from. I have been a storyteller since the age of 9. I learned from arguably the greatest black storyteller in U.S. history, Mary Carter Smith, and now I apply storytelling in a public health context. So I am associate faculty in the mental health department at the Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health, as well as an adjunct assistant professor at the University of Florida Center for Arts and Medicine. And I use storytelling in various capacities. So I began my foray into the arts and health space using storytelling as a healing practice, and that is where my organization, Discover Me, Recover Me, comes from, encouraging people to look at their own narrative, to feel the empowerment of sharing their story, and finding those aspects of themselves within that story. And for the past few years, I've been venturing into storytelling as a research modality, a way to acquire and gather information. So this opportunity to look at the perceptions of SBH, to look at how staff view SBH in terms of whatever challenges, whatever issues they see, is perfect for storytelling. The most important thing is that people feel comfortable sharing their truth. And that means being in a space where there's no judgment, there is no preconceived notion, there is no mitigation of the story. It's the allowance of the complete truth. And that's something that I'm fortunate to have developed my skills in, being able to create that safe space, that space where people can share their truth. And then just having the opportunity to dive into deep conversation and deep thought about issues that are particularly important to my participants. So it's always important to orient our stories towards what I call those existential determinants. And those are those things that we as human beings all seek in some form or fashion. It can manifest in a number of different ways. But at the core, this is what we all want. And that includes things like acknowledgement, appreciation, respect, understanding, and love. So we have that orientation as to what's most important to us. We can think about how all these different factors within our various environments may allow or preclude us from acquiring those things. And working in the healthcare space is no different. You certainly want to make sure that staff feel welcome, supported, encouraged, and empowered. So any way we can uncover the stories and elevate the stories that either show the best of that or show places of improvement is where my skills, I think, are particularly helpful. But all in all, it's a space where, again, people feel comfortable telling their story, and that's the most important thing. And my expertise in my career has shown that if you can create that space, people will tell their story. It doesn't really take a lot. People may be apprehensive and reluctant at first, and I think that's natural. That's a human reaction when it comes to places of vulnerability. And telling your story does require vulnerability, so it really is an act of courage and bravery to tell your story. But once they feel that, okay, this is a space where I will not be judged, I will not be punished, or whatever the case may be, people will let it out. And that just shows our natural human inclination to share, to disseminate our truth. So that is the space that I always look to bring, and this work has been fascinating. I recently published a paper in Health, Education, and Behavior about storytelling in the public health context, what that currently looks like in the literature, as well as some of the projects my colleagues and I have been doing and have done. So we really are in an epic of public health that lends itself to this type of work around creative energy and creative practice, not just in a healthcare setting, but again, the public health setting, which is my background. We're seeing this more and more, and I think it's going to lead to more equitable work in the medical and public health space. It's going to lead to more effective and efficacious work in the medical, healthcare, and public health space. So I'm very happy to be a part of it, to be able to lend my talents and my artistic abilities. Never thought that I would be able to be the artist in this space, but that is who I am, and I'm very grateful because it allows me to be myself. And ultimately, the stories that we share with each other are how we share ourselves with each other. So this opportunity to work with you all would be no different, and using those stories to the full extent of their power, because stories are very powerful. They have the ability to change, they have the ability to grow, to strengthen, and do so many things that are beneficial to ourselves individually and collectively. So I'm excited to work with you all. I'm excited to learn. I'm excited to continue to hone my craft and to make something beautiful that works for you all. So I look forward to connecting and working together. Thank you.